The church had communicated by its actions and by the money it spent with kids for decades. We don't care about your social life. We don't care about your boyfriend. We don't care about your girlfriend. We don't care about whether you have friends or not. All we care about is your soul. We care about your soul. We'll talk to you about your soul. Anything else, that's not important to us. And that's what it's all about the church. The church doesn't give a rip about high school football or basketball or the boyfriend, girlfriend, or if this kid's lonely, not lonely. They don't care about that. It's just you get things with God and everything else will work itself out. That's baloney. And so I started reaching into a kid's life socially. And so 180 was not just about teaching people about the Lord. We did, and we made it very interesting, but we had fun. We hung out, we had pizza, we started playing games, we had video games, pool tables, all those different kinds of things, and I got criticized for that. But what happened is these kids made friends, they built relationships, they saw something about the character and the heart of God, that God is about family and about celebration. Yes, we'll pray. Yes, we'll have church. Yes, we'll worship, but we're still going to have fun. And so I felt like if we reach kids socially, we gained a license to talk to them spiritually. I thought my outreach to junior high school kids, I thought that was me saving them. But I didn't realize it was them saving me. Because the future of our church was all tied up in those teenagers. And had I not reached them then, they wouldn't be taking this load off me today. They're the future of our church. You know, I saw this in Ephesians, where Jesus loved the church and he gave himself for it, that he might present it to himself a glorious church without spot or wrinkle. And the very thing that he gave into and sacrificed for became a gift that he in turn gave back to himself. If pastors would learn to reach young people when they're still young, you're giving yourself the present of succession and the future of a church. Because otherwise, I don't care how great you are, your church has got 30 years and it becomes irrelevant. And if you don't start reaching that next generation, you have nobody to go to. I no longer connected to our praise and worship. It had become very mechanical. I didn't like it. I didn't feel like it was reaching the crowd. And part of this is my fault because I explained that, it's not necessary that we become emotional. But Whit said something to me about music one day. He said, "Dad, all great music has an emotional pull." He said, "A great song has passion about it." Well, I should have known that. I was in a rock group. We need music that pulls people in. Which said, "Dad, a good concert, there's an energy, there's a vibe." And I thought, we don't have that in church anymore. And so we started changing our praise and worship. And some of our older people didn't like it because we started singing different songs and we cranked up the music a little bit. And I thought, wait a minute, guys, you had your turn. I mean, for 20 years we've been doing your stuff. Now it's time to begin to sing songs of a new generation. And I'm going to be mature enough to maybe not have my preference here, but it's their preference. And if we want to reach them, we're going to have to do this. But we begin to change the way we did church. And we changed lighting. We changed the way I did seriousness. Some of it, we probably overdid it. Okay, some of the goofy series, like when I did a series on money, I thought I was being trendy, and we called it The Lord of the Bling. It came out at the same time we did The Lord of the Rings. But, I learned from that. We still learned how to communicate to younger people. Senior pastors have a hard time making changes because they've never had to change to reach a different generation. Because I had to put on a cowboy hat or put a puppet in my hand and learn to be silly in order to reach kids. I knew how to adjust to reach a new generation. I knew that you made yourself uncomfortable to do that, but it was worth the investment. And it's what Jesus did. He became a man to communicate, and he put on a man's body. to communicate in order that his audience might get him.